Welcome back to the Hustle Unfiltered podcast hosted by Kayla Serta and Jackson Mansudi,
where we dive into raw, unfiltered conversations about training, health, and fitness while navigating the challenges of life and business in our 20s.
I'm really sad
Why?
because I don't know where my drink bottle is.
Oh, did you check your car?
No, not yet. I'm really hoping it's in the car. Otherwise,
I feel like my gym is also not the gym that's going to be the one where they steal shit though.
No, I don't think so either, but if it's not in the car, I really hope I can get it collected at the gym tomorrow because that's a $60 emotional support water bottle and it's a high necessity right now.
I have to say, you got me on the emotional support.
I'm getting everyone on it. I tell my clients to get them as well. I'm like, in their check-ins, and when they say like, I'm struggling to get in enough water, I'm like, get it in.
Yeah, I think like drinking out of a glass bottle is mad, but it's just like so impractical.
A glass bottle or like a Voss?
Yeah, like I used to froth a Voss bottle.
Of course you fucking did. You have them at your mum's house.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, but like the metal, or whatever, titanium, whatever it is, yeah, very good.
Yeah, it keeps your water cold and more about the cold water. It doesn't make your water taste weird.
Yeah, I agree.
I was so anti-drink bottle because I hated the taste of like plastic and water.
Yeah, I agree.
When I was younger, it would make me feel sick, or if you put like juice in it one day and then it just fucks the whole smell and taste
I put some diorite in this sometimes and it's still fine. Like after the second go, it's like if you rinse it, it's fine. You can't taste it. So that's what I really value out of it. And also I just drink a ton more water now.
Yeah, I drink so much more water since I've had these bottles. They are like...
And I actually crave water now.
Yeah.
Like when I'm thirsty...
It's good. It keeps your water cold. I'm telling you, cold water is the best.
Yeah. I remember I had this client when I was doing face-to-face. He was Chinese.
Yeah.
And they believe in drinking warm water.
Yeah.
And I remember we would just banter back and forth about hot and cold water.
Yeah.
And he would always want a protein shake after training. And I was like, warm water? He's like, no, cold. And I'm like, oh, now we want fucking cold water. I was like...
I couldn't think of anything worse than a warm protein shake.
Yeah, that would actually taste terrible.
Yuck.
But it was funny because like obviously for them, I think they believe, and I think there's some truth to it as well.
I think room temperature water actually hydrates you more.
But it tastes terrible.
But I'm also going to have one sip and not be hydrated. I'd rather have a full cold water bottle and that's probably going to hydrate me more.
How's the prep going?
Preparino is going really good. What are we, 5 weeks out? 4 weeks out?
I say we're 5.5 weeks out.
Yeah, I think we're itching close to the 4 week mark because I have to send my measurements for my hips, for my bikini.
Yeah, I'll give you an exact outage. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4.5.
Oh my God, my
so next week is 1.
Heart just sunk into my butthole.
The other week after is 2. The week after is 3. The week after is 4, but that's the week you compete.
Yeah, that's peak week. Oh my God, that's really scary. It's technically 3.5 more weeks until I have to peak.
Yeah.
Fuck me dead.
And then you got the week after.
Yeah.
And then you've got, so that's what, 4, 5,
that's
6, 7, so 8 more weeks of prep.
Wow. That's gone so fast.
It's gone extremely fast. I feel like my prep went forever.
Yeah, but you also did have a longer prep.
I had a 30-week prep. Yours is what, 24?
I think total 22. So like you had another 8 more weeks on top of what I have left.
Yeah, that's true. But I also had a lot more to lose.
Yeah. Well,
your boy was thick.
He was a thick boy.
Although we're pretty thick at the moment.
Yeah. But you're thick in a different way now.
Yeah.
Nah, but prep's been going good. Last week was a very challenging week in terms of just like navigating the energy, and definitely felt like it was probably my lowest week in terms of just like fatigue and energy. And I think we learned a lot of lessons from it and feeling a lot better coming into the new week. I think also our sleep has improved massively this week. That was one of the things I noticed myself struggling a lot with last week, is just like waking up multiple times throughout the night. And that was the first week I noticed it. Like up until then, I've been sleeping like a baby and I was waiting for the sleep to become a bit of a roadblock. But I've introduced a new sleep supplement, which we started yesterday to help with that.
Max Sleep.
Max Sleep from Bulk Nutrients, hashtag not spawn, but hashtag wish it was. So based on what my coach says, I implemented that yesterday, and I think that actually did help with our sleep last night, but also the last few nights we've been not watching TV before bed, and I think that's played a massive role in just my ability to wake up feeling more refreshed in the mornings. Like I've still been waking up like 3:30, between 3 and 3:30, the fucking devil's hour. My eyes are just like, awake. I'm like, bitch, go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And then I would get up at 5 and I'm struggling to get out of bed. I'm like, why is this happening?
I'm surprised you haven't gotten up to like pee more, because I remember when I was dieting, like that would happen all the fucking time.
I'm very strategic with my drinking of water. Like I don't try not to drink too much before bed. Like I drink majority of my water in the day, and then like I might refill it, say my water bottle now, and that'll last me till the end of the night.
Yeah, okay.
But I just make sure I have enough water in there if I do wake up thirsty in the middle of the night, then I can have a sip. But I try not to drink a lot of water before bed.
Yeah, okay.
Because in the past I'd had like teas and stuff before bed. Like when I did my first photo shoot, I was having a lot of teas at the time, and I'd have a tea before bed and I'd wake up needing to piss.
Yeah,
So-
I remember just waking up every single night at least twice to pee. It was like so bad.
Yeah, but I think that's also made a massive difference in just how my physique is looking this week. Like I feel like from Sunday to today, when I did my videos for posing, like I've already seen a big difference. My body weight has dropped and it's held at the lowest weight for the last 3 days. But even with that, it's like the sleep and just less stress on the body, less inflammation, all that sort of stuff plays a role in that. So we're feeling good.
Nice.
And I'll see another high day today, another high day on Sunday, which I have a feeling this is probably going to be the last week we run this protocol. But every time check-in comes around, I'm just like, I'm mentally prepared for, we're going to dig now, Kayla, like no more high days. And then Jason's like, things are going great, have another high day. And I'm like, oh, slay. So we're just going in with the mindset of like, this could be the last week and that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, like for anyone listening, the purpose of the high day when you're this deep into prep, it's not like you're technically on a higher amount of calories. Like
it's an extra 450 calories on top of what I'm currently eating.
Yeah, and when you're that deep into a deficit and you're that lean, it's not really like doing much in my opinion. Like the way Jason described it to me once was like, bro, if you spent the last 20 weeks being sunburned, just because you step out of the sun for one day doesn't mean you're not sunburned. You know, and I think that's a really great way of explaining it, because it's just like, oh, you're eating more food today, so you should feel fine. It's like, nah, bruh.
No, sometimes I can actually feel like worse because I'm oh, I had more food and like I feel a little bit more tired, or like it's just like a shifting from the less food to the more food, and then from the more food I like get used to it, and then the less food you're like, oh fuck, here we go again. Yeah,
I remember like the peak week for me when I was doing it, I was like, messaged him like, bro, why do I still feel fucked? He's like, again, it makes no difference.
You've been dieting for 30 weeks.
Yeah. It's like just because you
don't feel slay.
You had 3 consecutive days of like, 500 grams of carbs. It's like, it doesn't just automatically fix it. And obviously we went through that when I finished my prep. It's like, it took a good 6 to 8 weeks for me to feel normal again.
Yeah. But this is obviously the extremities of this.
100%.
Of dieting phase, so.
That's good.
How's your build going?
Build's going well. It was 90 kgs, 90.4 this morning.
Wow.
Yeah, we're getting there. I was like,
it's a heavy boy.
I remember I wore this shirt during prep for anyone who's watching the video, and it looked very different on me to what it does now.
It's like a fucking jumper.
It was like a dress, and now it's like almost a crop top. But the build's going well. We're getting a lot of food in. Still, calories haven't changed for me. But obviously just like, the calories are there, and there's enough food to support the muscle growth and the training capacity at the moment. Pulled back on legs this week and probably had one of the best leg sessions I've had in a while, because I felt like I trained hard, but I didn't feel like I pushed myself to the point of throwing up.
Yeah.
Which was really nice. But yeah, things are going well. Can't complain. Eating 300 grams of rice a day, raw, which is lovely. But yeah, things are good. But let's get into the topic, which essentially is like, let's point it out with you, because you're always a great example with these things, because you're just doing the damn thing. But you've been extremely consistent lately. And I think that's really much going to be the topic and highlighted word of the conversation today. Obviously, just because you've been consistent, it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed the result. What about your consistency has gotten you the result?
My ability to be honest with where I'm consistent.
Elaborate.
Like, being consistent is important, but it's like being consistent with the right things and being honest with where you actually need to be more consistent. It's like, I wouldn't be in this position if I wasn't consistent and honest with my food intake, my activity, my training sessions, my sleep. You know, it's one thing to be consistent in the gym, but it's another thing to also be consistent with your recovery, your nutrition. And I think where a lot of people can go wrong with the whole consistency thing, it's like, if you were to zoom out, yeah, you're probably consistent. But if we were to zoom in that little bit more, it's like, where are we still dropping the ball? Because if you don't have the result, it means that there's something there that you're not actually looking at and you're refusing to be honest with. And that's probably what would actually make those changes come through or actually see the progress you want when you get consistent with that thing. And I think that's, you know, you can be consistent for a very long time, and I think that's obviously very important, but it's like, if you're also consistently inconsistent in a lot of areas, it's not going to progress to the result that you want at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, it's like the conversation we had the last one of the times. It was like, oh, you know, you can do all the right things, but if you're just like ticking the box, but you're not actually doing it with the right intentions, then it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. I think a great example of it even as well is just like, you can go to work every day or you can go to uni 3 times a week, but if you're not actually paying attention, if you're not actually applying yourself at work, or, you know, doing the tasks that are required to get you closer to, you know, your promotion or monetary goal, and you're not saving that money that you're earning, it's like, well, yeah, sure, you're consistent, but then like, you're not really getting the actual benefit and the outcome you're looking for, because you're just doing the bare minimum essentially. It's like anyone can just go to the gym. Yeah. It's like, are you going to the gym, walking in and walking out, or are you going to the gym and doing what you're supposed to be doing? Yeah. I guess like with that, and like where do you think a lot of people sort of tend to be consistent but not actually be intentional? When they look at only their like really good weeks or like their really good habits. It's like, I'm consistent in the gym and I consistently track my macros until shit hits the fan, until I'm injured, until I'm sick, until I run out of meal prep, and then like I choose not to track because I know I'm gonna have a meal out. And then it's like, okay, well, if you were consistent, you'd stay consistent with those same habits, you just adjust it or refine it to suit whatever that change in outcome was. It's like, I think people really strive with consistency only in perfect conditions, not when shit actually hits the fan. And at the end of the day, like, that's where the consistency matters most. Because you can tick all these boxes on a good day. Like when I'm having a great day in prep, like it's easy for me to tick all the boxes. Yeah, 100%. It's the days where things aren't so great, where maybe energy is lower, maybe I wasn't as prepared as I thought and I have to quickly go to the grocery shop or whatever, and like, am I still able to be consistent in those moments? Because those are the ones that really add up over time as well. And I think, yeah, people put too much of an emphasis just on the perfect days or the perfect weeks, and it's like, but I'm consistent there. It's like, yeah, well, what about every other day? Yeah. It's like one meal on plan isn't going to be what achieves the result. Just like one meal off plan won't derail your progress, but it's like, how consistent are you with those two things? Yeah, I mean, the perfect, like, as a lot of people will say, I've been training for years, right? I've been going to the gym for 3 years, but they still don't have the progress they want. It's probably for that exact reason. And I think it comes down to like, a lot of people have these all or nothing approaches as well. Yeah. Where it's like, yeah, I'm consistent when I'm good. You know, when I'm dialed in, I'm all in, bro. I'm consistent when I'm in a fat loss phase. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, fat loss phases are about 12 weeks of a year. That's a fifth of your year. What about the rest of it? Yeah. And even with the training, like for myself, even for the first 6 years, I was consistent in the gym. I would never miss a session, but I was also changing a program every week, changing exercises every week. I was losing that direction towards the goal I actually want. So to put a blunt term on it, yeah, I was consistent in the gym, but was I consistently doing what was required for the goal I wanted? No. And I didn't want to accept that reality, because then that, in a way, was kind of like, well, then I'm not consistent. Yeah. But that was my thing. Like, I was the consistent girl that went to the gym. Yeah, I was the same. When I was first like trying to get bigger and I was like doing powerlifting but wanted to look like a bodybuilder, first things first, that was already a little bit skewed. But for me, I was like, yeah, I was training really hard. I was doing like, you know, I was deadlifting 220 kilos, 200 kilos for reps, squatting 200 kilos. Like, you'd think on paper this person's going to get jacked, right? But then when it came to my nutrition, you know, I was like bulking, bro, but I was like, you know, having maple syrup with my Cocoa Pops and calling it a fucking bulk. Or, you know, I would have one bad meal and say, oh, fuck it. Like, it's the weekend's a write-off. And then I'd still be in the gym on Monday working my ass off to counteract my bad habits. But it's like, oh, but I still showed up. I still did the right thing. I was still consistent.
but you're also lying to yourself.
Exactly. And then people will sort of like almost look at their results and say, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. And that's where the honesty needs to come in and say, well, what are we actually doing and what are the missing pieces here that are, yeah, sure, I'm showing up, but that I could be doing better to actually move the needle forward.
I think a lot of people put a big emphasis on what they are doing and what they're doing really well, which is great. Like, acknowledge the areas that are your strengths, but people really refuse to look at their weaknesses. And I think we've all actually spoken about this before. It's like a lot of the people that we're probably speaking to are really great at training and like they are consistent in the gym. Maybe they are following a program. So they put all their eggs in that basket and they label themselves as consistent because they're nailing that, but then their nutrition is completely out the window. And it's because they don't want to be honest and look at what they're actually not doing. It's like, well, I am going to the gym. It's like, yeah, great. But what are you not doing? Oh, I'm not meal prepping. I'm not being consistent for longer than 3 days. I'm not actually, fueling before my sessions. I'm actually not eating before I train. Like, they will only look at what they are doing, but never at what they're not. And that's the hardest truth to have to realize, because it makes you you can question being like, well, fuck, like, what have I been doing this whole time, And it can be a bit of a slap to the fucking ego of like, oh my God, I'm not consistent. Oh my God, I'm not actually all the things I say I am. It's just like, you are, but you're just not putting the focus in the areas that are actually going to be what pushes you further forward. Because right now you're just doing the same thing over and over again and getting nowhere.
Yeah, I think another great example of that is when you look at someone who's also doing the right things, but they're actually doing the right things. And then you look at it and you're like, well, I'm doing what they're doing. But it's like, you're not. And then you get upset because you're like, oh, well, I'm trying. It's like, so for me lately, I've been looking a lot at the mentality of a lot of like athletes, like great athletes, like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. And I'm like, well, what separated them? It's like, because there's hundreds of players that have come through the NBA that have all been consistent. They've all trained hard to be here. But what has separated them? And then you look at someone like, again, LeBron James spends $2 million on recovery and nutrition. It's like, sure, he makes a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, that's like barely even scratching the bank account.
But they all do, you know what I mean? But there's a reason that he's the greatest, one of the greatest of all times, because he's not only consistent, but he puts his energy in the right areas. He focuses on his nutrition. He focuses on his recovery. And guess what? When everyone else has finished training, he's putting effort outside of the gym into the areas that are also going to make him great. So I think if you are someone listening to this and you're like, well, yeah, that sounds like me. What else can I be doing? It's like, look at the areas that you're not doing well in. So what are some of those areas might be?
That could be something like your sleep. It's like, yeah, you might train really hard, you might hit your macros, but you sleep 3 to 4 hours a night. It's like, okay, look at your sleep. Not only that is going to make you feel like a better human, but also that's going to elevate your results with your training, your nutrition, your physique goals. So I'd say like sleep would be a really big one. It's literally all the basic things. Your hydration. Again, ticking all the boxes, but your caffeine intake and your Coke Zero intake is not water. That was Jackson before we got together.
Yeah, on that as well though, like the reason we say these things is because we've been there.
Yeah.
Like we've been those people and we've had to have those hard conversations with ourselves or been called out on it, because if we haven't, we would have been stuck and we would have been still going in that same vicious cycle, being like, well, why am I not jacked yet? Why am I not lean yet? Why can't I do a bodybuilding prep? Why can't I do this? And it's like, well, we've needed to come to the realization and have someone tell us or reflect on it ourselves and say, okay, these are the areas where we can put more effort that are maybe not, and this is a thing that's really important as well, they may not give you the return on investment instantaneously. It will take a while to see the return on investment on that. Although something like sleep, I feel like you feel a fuck ton better.
You can definitely notice it within a day.
And your hydration. It's like those things you will definitely notice a difference almost instantaneously, but in terms of how your physique might look, like that might take some time.
Yeah. Well, even like when I look at my first photo shoot compared to the second, compared to this prep, it's like that first photo shoot, I was consistent as fuck with my training nutrition. Like that was the most consistent I was ever in my entire life with sticking to a meal plan, not going off the meal plan, training hard consistently, but I wasn't paying attention. Like I slept decent, but I wasn't like, I need to make sure I'm getting enough sleep, blah, blah, blah. And like I got a great result, but then the next photo shoot is like, okay, I'm ticking all the boxes, training, nutrition. I also need to look at my sleep and my stress. And then this time around, I'm like, okay, I'm ticking all those boxes. I need to double down on this even further. and I am using supplements now, but that's only working because I'm ticking all these boxes, because I'm consistent in these areas. Like the supplements, and I think this is a bit of a segue, but like people say they're consistent with their training, they're consistent with their subs, but if you're not consistent with your recovery, your nutrition, your hydration, that's not going to fix anything. A supplement is a supplement to what you're already doing.
Yeah, I agree.
If your foundations aren't set and you're not consistent with them and seeing a payoff with them already, you're starting to notice, how can I just tweak it that extra 1%? Okay, let's add in this next.
Yeah, because I don't think it's too much of a segue, because it's a good point, because it's like people won't forget to take their pre-workout every day.
No one will forget to smash the Oxy Shred on an empty stomach on the way to the gym after rushing for 5 minutes to get ready, but tell them to eat a couple rice cakes. I don't have the time for that. That takes the same amount of time it takes for you to take out the pre-workout of the cupboard, unscrew the fucking lid, find the scooper in the fucking container, add that, shake it with some water. That would arguably take longer than you pulling out 2 rice cakes, squeeze a bit of honey.
Yeah, or having their early morning coffee before they eat. Like
scrolling on Instagram as soon as they wake up.
Yeah. Like all these things are not too difficult to do because they suit the narrative that they tell themselves. And I think this is like the biggest thing. It's like we've gone so much on focusing on optimizing things and how can we get the best workout and how can we, find the best exercise for the workout. But none of that means shit if you're not doing all the other things correctly. Like we've obviously we've gone down those rabbit holes where it's like our program needs to look like this, our exercises need to be like this, and again we're showing up in those ways, but we weren't eating enough vegetables, we weren't having enough fruit, our sleep was shit, our stress was through the roof, and it's just like that's why we weren't getting the results we wanted. And if you're that person, you need to really fix those things as soon as possible if you really want to make the progress you want to make. I guess for you, like, you've obviously been talking about this on socials a little bit. What are some of the things that you're finding that do pop up with clients where you're just like, this needs to be worked on?
I'd say nutrition is the biggest one. It's like looking at the week as a whole and like consistency as a whole. It's like, cool, you are nailing it Monday to Thursday, but the weekends, everything goes out the window. It's like, why is that the case? Oh, because I don't grocery shop for the weekend, or I'm unprepared, or this or that. It's like, okay, if you can apply yourself to do this Monday to Thursday, how can we now do this for the weekend? Yes, our routines look different. Like a lot of us like work Monday to Friday, and our weekends are our time to chill and to relax. And it's like, it's great to chill and relax. We chill and relax. But also I'm not using that as an excuse or, the weekends as a whole to be like, oh, I can't do anything, or I can't set myself up for success in that. Because being consistent Monday to Thursday won't mean shit in the grand scheme of things if the other 3 days of your week you're turning a blind eye.
Yeah.
And it's just like, again, kind of going into that all or nothing, or that like perfectionism of like it needs to be perfect like Monday to Thursday. It's like your weeks can look different. It's your ability to be able to adapt and refine things and learn what works for you to set yourself up for success, so you can be consistent. If you can be consistent Monday to Thursday because you do your grocery shop on a Sunday, do another grocery shop on the Thursday, so you can then be consistent on the weekend.
Yeah, or make extra and freeze it.
Do that too.
Yeah, like there's a way around these things, because I think it's just like it comes down to the fact of almost like you don't want to actually achieve the goal, or you want to have the excuse like, oh yeah, it didn't work this week because of this. So you've got that in the back of your mind that it's like, yeah, that's the excuse this week.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to tell yourself that narrative like, oh, it's okay, you had a hard week. It's like, yeah, sure, you probably did, but was there things that we could have done to actually make sure that we still hit the targets? And that's where the all or nothing comes in, because you're all Monday to Thursday, you're nothing. Whereas like, wouldn't you rather just be all or something? Where it's like, okay, well, maybe I didn't meal prep from Thursday onwards, but it's like I went and, got some meals, and I just like made a sandwich that had some protein in it and some salad in it, and I still ticked a box. And then I went out on Saturday and, I ate a free meal, but then Sunday I was back on it and I meal prepped my food. I made some for that day as well. It's like, well, fuck man, that's still pretty good, and that's a lot better than what you were doing. And that's where you can be consistent in all areas as well. Another place where I find it shows up as well is like people will go to the gym you know, maybe they're following a program and they're like, oh, well, this machine's taken and that machine's taken. It's like, oh, I'll just, you know, you've got a leg press, but then you go do a bicep curl. It's like, well, you know what? That's probably not the best idea. It's like, again, you're ticking a box, but is it the right one? It's like, show up with your training with the right intention, ask the person on the machine how long they have left, or go find something that's actually similar to that. Can't get the leg press, get on a Smith machine, get on a hack squat, something like that, that's actually still going to train that correct muscle that you essentially were wanting to grow, and then you don't have to look in the mirror later on and say, oh, why are my legs small?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I love when like some of my clients, they'll leave a comment in the training section like, had to swap this out, and when I see it's like an exercise that I would have told them to swap it to, I'm like, yes, we love this. Or it's like, oh, the rear delt fly was taken, so I did it on the cable, is that okay? And I'm like, that's fucking perfect. I would have said do that anyway. That's so good.
Yeah, well, I think another thing to touch on as well was just like they're only consistent when they're dieting. Why do you think that's the case?
I think it's because it's a clear goal. In a way, out of all the goals that you can achieve with your physique, if you want to build muscle, maintain the result, or lose fat, like that is kind of the most instant reward out of all of them.
It's the most validating.
It's not the quick fix, but it's the quickest result out of all three. And I think it's because it's giving you that instant reward of like, okay, cool, I'm making progress, the scale's going down, I'm looking leaner, I'm feeling better, like the clothes are fitting better, all these things. It's like you're kind of getting those instant kind of reminders that, yeah, we're making progress. So it's like, if I just keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to get the result. Whereas I feel like because we live in a culture, and I literally filmed this on my stories to post the other day, but like we live in a world nowadays where everything is so readily available to us. It's like if you want something to wear for the gym tomorrow, you could express ship it to your door literally today. If you want a quick dopamine hit because you feel sad or hangry or whatever, go on Instagram, find a funny meme. Like we can get these things so instantly, and it's like when a result or when a goal requires patience, time and effort for not 12 weeks, but for 6 months, 12 months, people are like, nah. That's too hard. I can't lock in for that long. But for a fat loss goal, it's like 12 weeks, yeah. 8 weeks, yeah. Yeah. That'll go quick. And I think it's just like people really only see progress with fat loss, I feel. Like they think that that is progress, but it's like for you to be able to maintain a result or for you to build muscle, like that is fucking progress. And that's, you would be doing a lot better than literally majority of people in the world if you put emphasis on that progress.
Yeah, and I can guarantee the person you want to look like has more muscle than what you think.
Absolutely. The person that you think you want to look like the version of you that you want to look like, absolutely has more muscle than you think.
Yeah.
110%, because not a lot of people have a lot of muscle.
No.
And not a lot of people are going to get bulky either. Like it's not going to happen very quickly. Like when someone's like, I don't want to get too big, it's like, I've been trying to get fucking big for the last 9 years. I'm not even that big. It's like, I think, yeah, it's just the expectations of a fat loss phase versus others. It's like I lock in, like, you know, I've got to be dieting, so I've got to make sure I look after my food. I've got to train hard to maintain the muscle. And I think it's great that they have that mindset with it, because it's true.
They have the right mindset with it, yeah.
But they don't apply that with the other goals. And that's why you're constantly chasing a fat loss goal, because you feel like that's the only thing you're going to see progress with. But at the end of the day, the progress you want lies in the other areas.
Yeah, and it's funny because like your diet didn't work if you put the weight back on anyway.
No.
Or if you have to diet again in 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks.
To lose the weight you've just lost, or to get back to where you were at the end of that deficit phase.
Yeah, 100%. Because you'll start the diet with the mindset of like, I'm going to look like X, Y, and Z. Then you don't, but then you get content with how you do look. And then all you want to do is go back to that skinnier version of yourself or that leaner version of yourself. Like I was happy then. It's like, no, you actually wanted to look different, but you're just really not happy with how you look now, and you'd rather be that. And that's the reality of it. And I think that I've talked about that a lot with my clients as well, because obviously the boys want to build muscle, and it's very long term. You know, and for guys it's a bit different. I feel like it is validated a little bit more, but you don't really see the progress of that until the next time you diet, which could be a year later. And it's like, for me, even like, I plan on building for the next like year and a half. I won't, like, of course, I'll look bigger and I'll know that there's muscle there, but I won't really know how that will look on my physique until the next time I do a proper cut. And that's going to take a while.
Yeah.
So I have to think so long term of just like inputs. And that's the thing. It's like, you want to be consistent, then be consistent at doing the right things and putting the inputs in the right areas. You know, so many people, as you said, when they're dieting, will look at doing the right inputs. Well, it's like, put those same inputs into your building phases, into that mindset that you have when you're dieting. And it's like, think of it this way. If you can just lay a brick a day in the right area, before you know it, you got a house. It might take a long time to do that, but wouldn't you rather take that time to do it and then be really, really happy with how you look, or just continually just not being happy and only being happy for a very short amount of time? And like, you will probably be happier looking like having more muscle anyway.
Yeah. Well, even for this prep, I didn't know I had all this muscle underneath.
Yeah.
That's only because I was like, the girl's got to build. Like, I've got to put on muscle. I don't know what I'm going to look like at the end of this phase. I don't know where the muscle is going to protrude out the most, but I just have to put trust in my ability to show up for my goal as well and be consistent in every area that I possibly can to be able to walk away from the build and also my prep knowing like I've put in all this work. And that's what has made, even just to tie on to how I feel in this prep, like I feel really fucking proud of myself because of what I did 12 and 24 months ago.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. The prep didn't start when the prep started.
No, the prep started in March last year when I set this goal and we set a timeline. But even up until that point, I knew I would dabble in this area eventually. But not only that, I knew I wanted to build upon the physique I had already had. So either way, I needed to put my effort there. And I needed to show up consistently here if I wanted to be better for myself. And that, when you are able to think long term and even like envision like how you're going to feel in 6 months time, 12 months time, 18 months time, whatever it may be, to like actually have the goal, you can see yourself enjoying the process more because you're like, oh, this is what it's going to be like. You might not see the exact physique. Like, I didn't know I was going to look like this. But I was like, I know that if I put in all this effort now, it will pay off because I've done everything I could.
You've been consistent across the board.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I was consistent with my training, but I know I fucked up with my nutrition. And now I'm questioning why don't I have the results. Like, I knew I was consistent across the board. And I am, like, no one can take that away from me.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people get to the end of their diet phase and they don't look the way they wanted to as well. Because it's like, well, we didn't really do any work prior to this.
Yeah.
It's like there was no building of the base. There was no foundation to this. It's like you just walked in off the street, dieted, and then thought that you were going to look muscular. It's like there needs to be muscle there first to reveal. And if there's not, then you're probably not going to look the way you want.
And that's also okay. And that just means it's like you're a leaner version of yourself, which is cool. Okay, I don't have a lot of muscle on me or the muscle that I want. That's now where you put your consistency into that area. Because if you go, okay, I'm not as muscly as I want, or I don't have the definition I want, but if I show up how I did now in this phase for the next 6 to 12 months in a build, I have, like, there's no other option but to have a better result next time.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, whether the rate of the progress is going to be different person to person, because also, like, one's ability to respond to a certain plan is going to be person dependent. But if you know, like, I've put in every little thing I possibly could into this goal, you will show up with a better result. 110%.
Yeah, well, it's like the longer you do something, the better you're going to get at it, right? And I think on that as well, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, but if I build, I'm going to get fat, I'm going to be uncomfortable. And it's like, yeah, maybe for a very short period of time. Like, you might feel a bit on the fluffier side, but it's like, you're not happy with how you look now.
Yeah.
At least do this, be a little bit uncomfortable with a purpose behind it, knowing that at the end of the tunnel there is some sort of light where you actually will have a result that you are happy with. Where right now you're just stuck in a vicious cycle and you're not happy anyway. So you may as well move in a direction where, of course, there's some uncomfortability in that, but there's going to be some sort of reward towards it as well.
Yeah. I'd rather be uncomfortable chasing something that I actually want than be uncomfortable and unhappy with something that I don't want and do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like when someone will just continuously focus on the excuses and like, you know, well, I can't have this, well, I can't have that. It's like, yeah, but you're not doing anything to actually change that. And it's uncomfortable now, but like, wouldn't you rather be uncomfortable for 5 minutes and get the result? Or do you want to live in this uncomfortability for the rest of your life?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Someone listening to this might be thinking like, all right, well, this sounds like me. What do I need to do from here to make those changes? What mindset do I need to adopt? What sort of processes do I need to take?
Join the Weapons Academy and we'll take you through the think, eat and train like a weapon method.
And if you're a guy, come coach with me.
I think like getting really, really fucking clear on like what it is you actually want. Like if you were to stand in front of the person that you want to be or the goal you want to achieve, it's like, what do they do? How do they show up? What actions do they do? How do they behave? And get really fucking clear on who that person is, because in order to get there, you need to start showing up as them now. Like if you want to be more consistent and with the areas that maybe you know you are lacking, and you get really honest and you're like, you know what, I need to improve my nutrition adherence, whatever. Okay, the person that has really consistent nutrition, what the fuck do they do? And when you can get clear on the habits of the person that you want to become or the goal you want to achieve, like, and you start doing that now, like that's going to add up over time to have the result. And I know you spoke about it on a post, and I literally filmed a module about it for my clients, but like the Be Do Have.
Yeah.
Like you need to be the person and show up as the person, do as they do in order to have the result. Whereas a lot of people will wait till they have the result to do the things to then become the person.
Yeah, or even be happy once they have the result.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, just be happy now. Obviously, context, like, don't just, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But it's like, be proud of what you're working towards now. Do the things they have, and you will have the outcome of that person. And I think that's the other thing as well, like, not to segue too much from the real conversation, but it's like, I think everyone just becomes so obsessed with the outcome. The reality is the outcome's always going to change. Like you've prepped, that would have been a massive goal of yours for years now. It's like, what's the goal now? It's like, but you are you're not less of a person because you achieve the goal. It's like, well, okay, I'm done. I win. Game over. It's like you win by not stopping. It's like marriage. It's like you don't win marriage. You don't win business. You win by just still having the business in 10 years, by still having the marriage in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It's like the same thing here. You win by continuously striving for more. But it's like, and again, this is going to sound very mindset-y and stoic, but it's like, who you become along that journey is what's more important. Because the person you become, the habits you attain, and the standards that you hold yourself is way more important
than the goal itself. Yeah.
The goal itself is the byproduct. It's like having the physique is the byproduct of all the things that you do. So if you're sitting in a position now where you don't have the physique you want and you're consistent in the right areas, or in all the quote unquote right areas, but you don't have that physique, that's because it's a byproduct of your current habits. So look at where you're not having those habits, adopt them, and then the byproduct of that will be the physique.
Slay.
Nailed it. What's on this weekend?
We got a photo shoot on Sunday.
Right.
Slay.
Got some new clothes.
Yeah, we got some new clothes. They did come yesterday. Got my outfits waiting for...
I want to just plug in there that I chose some of the outfits and they look really good.
He did support me in choosing the outfits because I did have a bit of a mentee bee about it. But no, they look good. I'm happy with the choices. He did very well. And it'll be fun to do another photo shoot again.
Well, just to touch on that as well, it's pretty interesting now that a photo shoot is no longer like the goal. It's just the thing that we're doing, and the prep is the goal.
Yeah, I reckon Kayla 3 years ago, before she booked the first photo shoot, she saw what we were doing now. She'd be like, what in the hell? What do you mean you're just doing a photo shoot on a random Sunday that had no preparation for, and just like, it's just like a normal Sunday. But yeah, no, I'm excited. It'll be cool because this is obviously, again, the leanest I've ever been. And it's kind of cool to see like each photo shoot I've done over the last 4 years, I've done 2 photo shoots or 2 photo shoot goals and preps, and each one has actually gotten better in terms of the presentation of my physique, and that's all been intentional, and that's because I've been consistent in all the right areas outside of just doing a photo shoot prep.
Look at that, tied it all together. I'll be emotional support.
But yeah, I'll be vlogging it, or I'll get Jackson to do some.
I'll be on the camera.
BTS as well, so we'll do a nice vloggy of the photo shoot. It's just a studio photo shoot, which is cool and like pretty chill, not too intense. The first photo shoot I ever did was literally on the side of the road.
In Bronte.
No, Tamarama.
Yeah.
In the middle of summer with police cars, buses, and everyone driving past. So to do a studio photo shoot is a walk in the park.
Got my attention. That's how we got here.
Yeah. So that's fun. That's Sunday. And other than that, we're just chilling.
Lovely. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed the episode, please make sure you download the episode, share it, comment, or whatever you want to do in all the areas on the socials.
On the socials, I don't really understand how the podcast still works.
I don't really know how Spotify engagement really works. So if anyone does, do anything that's going to positively impact it.
Yeah, or message us on Instagram. Tell us if you're liking it. I get a lot of DMs saying that they do like the podcast, which is really nice, and from my clients that listen. So Illy, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. But it's cool to know that you girls are listening and everyone's listening and you guys are finding value from it, because we enjoy doing it, and that is also the goal. Like, we want to obviously speak about our experiences, you get to know us a little bit more, but also we want to make sure that you guys are actually taking something away from it that you can apply in your life, whether that be with your training, lifestyle, nutrition, physique goals, blah, blah, blah. So
yeah, I feel like sometimes we talk, I'm like, is this valuable?
Yeah. But seems to be, so
we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.